Good afternoon and welcome to M+Co's Lunch and Learn series. Thank you for joining us online. Shortly we will be going live to the showroom where we will have our panel discussion with Emily and Taylor from Sourcebook. They will be joined by interior designer Rhiannon Lee from Oleander and Finch. First of all, we'd like to welcome you aboard. For those that don't know of M+Co, just a short history in terms of who we are and what we do. We've been around for around 12 years. First of all, as a leader in the property stylist market. About 3 years ago, we became players in the wholesale game. So we've got two divisions, M+Co Property, which deals with our property styling, and then M+Co Living, which is dealing with our stockists and retailers out there around Australia. If you would like to join us in store, please make an appointment anytime that you would like. We're located here at 13 Roper Street here in Moorabbin. Please stay on the line at the completion of our panel discussion, because we want to give you the same showroom experience that you would have if you were joining us here live. We'll be taking you around, pointing out some of the furniture pieces that we've got here at M+Co and how we can actually support your business. We'll also be running through just a quick tutorial on our members area so that it makes your client experience a hell of a lot easier and more efficient. Stay tuned. We're about to cross live to the showroom. Here's Michaela Rossi.
Thank you all for joining us. For those that have attended previously, I'm so happy that it's not as hot. We can breathe, relax a little bit. I'm Michaela. I'm the marketing manager here at M+Co. Before we begin, I'll do some introductions on our team. We have Sue at the back, Sue Donovan. Sue is head of sales. We have Matt Renwick, who's our national account manager. I'm the marketing manager. We have Dylan, our videographer and photographer, as well as Connor, who's our web developer, but our IT and AV person for today. So thank you, boys, for the back. So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the third installment of our Lunch and Learn series. It's fantastic to have you all here. As we continue this series, which is designed to bring valuable insights to the design community. So today we're really thrilled to be joined by Sourcebook's Emily and Taylor, as well as Rhiannon Lee of Oleander and Finch. Together, they'll be guiding us through how to leverage Sourcebook and Project Studio to elevate your portfolio, attract clients, and strengthen your overall brand. So first up, we have Emily, Sourcebook's marketing manager. That's a mouthful. Yeah. With a background in interior design, she'll walk us through Project Studio and how it can enhance your presentations, improve efficiency, and streamline your workflow. Next, Taylor, who's the marketing and community coordinator, will take us behind the scenes on what Sourcebook looks like when featuring designers, plus how you can get your profile maximized and also increase your presence on the platform. And finally, we have Rhiannon Lee, an e-designer and industry mentor. Rhiannon will share her top strategies for marketing your business and, of course, using Sourcebook to do so. So after the presentations and the Q&A is all done, we'll go into a grazing break and a mingling break. This grazing opportunity is a great time to network. With question time, we're kind of keeping it to a minimum, around 4 to 5. So if we hit that minimum and you have more questions, feel free to come up to the girls during grazing break. As I said, it's a great opportunity to network. If you like any of the products and the furniture as well, you can come up to our team. We also have Charlie, who's not up here, but she's also in our sales, so she'll be able to help out as well. So I think we're ready to kick things off.
Right.
There you go. Thank you, guys.
Well, first of all, I just wanted to say a big thank you to M+Co for hosting us and having us here. I thought maybe we can all just give them a round of applause. Michaela and the team have just been amazing at organising all of these events. So yeah, really wanted to say thank you for that. So yeah, we're really excited to be bringing this session to you today all around marketing your business with Sourcebook. I'd love to just see a show of hands of anyone that is a designer on Sourcebook or who's familiar with our platform, just so we know who we're sort of talking to. Oh, lovely. We've got a lot of Sourcebook. Yeah, great. Well, just to give you an overview of what the session will be covering today. So we'll be talking around Project Studio and how it can help you market your business. This is our latest tool that we've just launched for interior designers. We'll cover the importance of marketing your business, which we all know is obviously a huge part in building your personal brand, getting your name out there, and yeah, just how you can leverage our platform and what we've built at Sourcebook for this. Tay will take us through how you can go about getting featured on Sourcebook. So we really love to collaborate with a lot of our designers and feature them and profile them to help you leverage your brand. So we'll just talk about the lens that we look through when featuring designers. And then, as Michaela mentioned, we'll do a Q&A as well at the end. I should also mention that me and Tay and Rhiannon as well will be here after the session, and we can give you a live demo on Project Studio because it is a tool that you sort of need to see in action. So yeah, answer any questions that you might have and we can kind of take you through it in a bit more detail. So just to introduce ourselves briefly, so as Michaela has already mentioned, my name's Emily and I'm the marketing manager here at Sourcebook. So obviously very passionate about marketing. I've got a background as an interior designer as well. So yeah, very familiar with how the design process works, which has then fed into the creation of Project Studio. We're joined with a very dear friend of Sourcebook, Rhiannon from Oleander and French Interiors. I think Rhiannon has been sort of along the Sourcebook journey for many years with us now. And then we have Taylor Snowball, who is our marketing and community coordinator. If you've been around Sourcebook for even a year, you probably would have come in contact with Taylor. So she manages all of our social media and our website as well.
Okay, so a bit of a background for those of you who didn't put your hand up. So Sourcebook is an innovative platform and our main product is an innovative mood board tool, which is an extensive home and lifestyle product library. And we also have our latest tool for designers, Project Studio. And pretty much what we aim to do is to simplify the design process of pairing products from different brands and retailers to help you create both an aesthetically pleasing and functional space. And our mission is to equip and empower people with the tools and community needed to create their dream home and dream projects and be the go-to destination for design enthusiasts to source, select, specify, and be inspired by all things interior design. And a bit of an overview of Sourcebook and our key features. So we have a simple cross-branded product library with over 75,000 products in there for the home. And our mood board tool is designed to streamline your design process and includes a few different features. So one of them being a Pinterest integration. So that is where you can integrate your Pinterest pins from your Pinterest account straight into your mood board. We have two different size options, so square, which is 1x1, and 4x3 as well, which is really great to put into your presentations, and a range of other features such as shadows and perspective and cropping. Yeah, there's lots to explore on there. There's also the opportunity to be featured on our website and social media channels. We also have a style letter editorial, which is where we showcase the latest in interior design. And a big part of who we are at Sourcebook is our design community. So we have 14,500 interior design professionals and 52,000 home enthusiasts and renovators as well.
So yeah, just to give you guys a bit of a background about Project Studio. Project Studio was co-created with a base of our interior designers. We kind of just took the pain points that a lot of our designers and also I was facing when I worked as a designer in the industry, such as needing to use multiple platforms. They're often very expensive and very complicated to use. So you'll be kind of shopping a million different sites, or you'll be using like Canva or PowerPoint for your presentations. Then you'll be jumping into Excel and manually doing your specification schedules. So what we wanted to do was just make an extension of our mood board tool and offer a new tool that kind of puts these all together. So it combines the creation of presentations and specification schedules into the one platform, which makes it easier and more efficient for your design process. And the one thing we always get asked about is how much this costs for designers, and it's completely free. So yeah, a big perk of using Project Studio in your business, obviously when we're talking about marketing and you're spending on Meta ads or Facebook ads and all the other marketing things, we really wanted to create a tool that you can use that's absolutely free for you. So as I mentioned, Project Studio is quite an in-depth tool. So if you want a live demo, I can show you that when we jump into the session. But these are some of our core features of Project Studio. So we've got our project dashboard. This is where you can see all of your projects that you've created in Project Studio in the one place. You can filter by whether the project's in progress, whether it's been completed, or whether it's archived. So this is sort of your core dashboard that you would go to when you first jump into Project Studio. You then have the ability to create project web pages, which are unique and interactive project web pages that contain all of your design details for your client. And this is all within your own branding. So I'll let Rhiannon speak a little bit more about this in her part, but you can upload your logo, as you can kind of see we've done there. You can put a bit of a bio about your project. And this essentially acts as your project web page that you can send to your clients. Yeah, all completely in your own branding, which is obviously really important for marketing as well. Probably our most requested and most loved feature is the specification schedule. So if you create your mood boards already in Style Sourcebook, literally with a one-click button, you'll be able to pull through all of the information on that mood board, and it will dynamically create a specification schedule for you. So you can kind of see the different columns and the way it's lined out there. This has the ability for the clients to be able to approve, decline, or set their products as in review. And they can also make comments and leave notes on each product as well. So you know where that's all sitting within the process. You'll receive a daily project recap email from us at 8 a.m. every morning. So this just helps you identify what clients have made what comments on different projects, and if they've changed the status or made any notes, you'll be notified of that one. We have the ability to export your specification schedule into a PDF. So if you're needing to send it to the builder or the plumber, yeah, we know that that's a big functionality that clients need as well. So you can export that into a PDF. I've sort of already touched on this, but we have the ability to engage in client conversations on your Project Studio webpage. So you can sort of see here, the clients can make comments on different aspects of the mood boards or whatever you're kind of including in that presentation, and they can kind of create that comment there for you to go back and forth with. I also touched on the product approval. So you can see here each line item in your specification schedule will have a status set. So the client can go through and decide what products they've approved, what products are in review, and it just helps you keep track of where the products are within the build. You can also set who's ordering that product, so whether it's the designer or the client or the builder as well. And then we have the notifications tab. So you'll be able to receive alerts when clients change their status or they add a comment. You'll be able to keep a track of all of your notifications. So in a very quick nutshell, these are the main features that Project Studio offers. But as I mentioned, you really do need to try it for yourself because it's quite an extensive platform that we've built and product for designers. So yeah, really encourage you to start using Project Studio and kind of getting a feel for it, because it is a bit of a different product that's sort of available now for you to use. So just a few quick points, but Rhiannon will kind of touch on this in a bit more detail, but just how can Project Studio be used as your go-to marketing tool? So as I mentioned, you can design and curate bespoke client project web pages in your personal branding. So we know that creating and having your brand be front and center is kind of like the most important thing. So we really didn't want to have Style Sourcebook branding all across the web pages. So you won't see Style Sourcebook anywhere at all. It's all completely in your own branding. So this is just an opportunity for you to be able to wow your clients and offer them something different that other designers might not be doing in the market. Yeah, sort of touching on this one as well. So offering your client that interactive experience rather than just putting your presentation together on PowerPoint or whatever it is that you might be using, you can actually do something a bit different and send them the web page, and they can actually explore, go in quite a lot of detail, make the comments like I mentioned. So it is really offering them that interactive experience, which helps you stand out as well from the crowd. And again, it just helps you stay organized and manage multiple projects. So we know that you're probably creating upwards of 10 projects at a time, maybe even more. So really that project dashboard just helps you keep track of all of the projects in the one place. And you can then put your efforts into other marketing activities such as social media, EDM. So yeah, we really kind of wanted to make this tool help you to work smarter and not harder for your design business. So you might be wondering how you can go about accessing Project Studio. So all you need to do to access Project Studio is to ensure that you have a Style Sourcebook designer account. And I mentioned again that this is completely free for you to sign up. So as long as you've got your Style Sourcebook designer account, then you just go and click on the Project Studio tab in your account. Once you click on the Create New Client Project, you'll be directed to this trade form that we just require you to fill out. We just then need you to put in your ABN, your business name, your business type, and some further details. We'll then just confirm that you are definitely a trade account and then approve your application and you can start using Project Studio. Again, I don't want to keep plugging this, but it is completely free. And we always, even though we say it so many times, people still say, oh, but when's the monthly bill coming? And I'm like, no, there's no bill, it's free. So yeah, really excited to be able to offer this new product for you all. So we might get into the nitty-gritty of chatting to Rhiannon. If Rhiannon, do you mind? I know a lot of the girls here already know you, but if you mind just introducing yourself, telling us where you're from, and a bit of background about the framework as well.
Yeah, sure. My name's Rhiannon. I run Oleander and Finch Interior Design. My design business is around 7 years old now, and I still do take on projects. I have about one project at a time, but I primarily teach and coach in the design space. So have some group coaching, as you mentioned, the framework. I have 3 framework courses and do private coaching for established designers who are looking to scale. So it's a lot more of the marketing and business side of running design businesses. But yes, definitely have a lot of mood boarding experience in my 7 years. It's kind of where I came from, doing a lot of e-design and using Style Sourcebook every day, all day.
Yes. So how did you go about building your brand and portfolio on Style Sourcebook? Because we know that, yeah, you've been a long time user of Style Sourcebook for probably like 5 to 7 years now. So what would advice be for these designers to go about building their portfolio on Style Sourcebook?
Yeah, I think it was really important for me to connect with the brands that Style Sourcebook use as well. So even though I knew that I could upload things to create, if something wasn't there, I could bring it in. I felt that being a bit strategic and getting to know the brands that were hosted on Style Sourcebook has been really helpful for my own profile and my career. I've had a lot of collaboration opportunities. I'm here today. I've just felt that by staying close to what was in that library, it really actually helped me propel. And also really thinking about when I make a mood board, I would think about, for example, a facade mood board. I wouldn't put 2 competing suppliers. I wouldn't use James Hardie and Buildworks in the same mood board and then expect them to share that on their pages. So just kind of understanding what is the purpose of the tool, what is happening in the background. I spend a lot of time engaging on the Facebook community. There's a Style Sourcebook Facebook page and sort of just getting to all the events, entering all the competitions, like reaching out to the team was really instrumental, like building that relationship. We mentioned before that we have that relationship, but someone had to DM someone first or like to reach out and say, I never expected that a company like that would find their way into my DM. So it's sort of get noticed by sharing that, tagging them in all of my mood boards that I would share on social media. So, content is content. Every business is looking for it. So I felt like you guys would reshare things. It's not because you found it on the mood board tool. It's because it's like I put your name on that mood board so that you will know I made it and hopefully show someone else.
Yes. Yeah. I think I was chatting to Rhiannon to say before that, like the other Rhiannon in the audience, we don't know designers unless you kind of contact us as well. So we do really, we're very passionate about wanting to feature an array of designers' work. And obviously our Instagram channels are quite big. So we really do foster these relationships. But unless we know you guys, we don't really know your name. So yeah, really encourage you, like Rhiannon was saying, to send us a DM or just get in contact with us in any way that you can. Because we need to
I
hear
feel
from
like
you.
I've reached out a few times to be like, are you low on before and afters this week? Like a client's just sent me some photos and
Yeah.
it's like really great, because if you don't need them, you'll say no. But I think if you don't ever actually reach out to these opportunities and say, you know, I've got this to be featured, do you want to feature it, or should I just go away?
Yes. And then I probably should say that once we do kind of get in contact with you, Tay will probably spam you a million times as well, asking for case studies. So yeah, do it with caution as well. I mentioned as well that Project Studio really does help designers stand out from the crowd. What tips do you have for designers to use Project Studio as a marketing tool?
Yeah, I loved this question. When Emily asked me, I was like thinking straight outside of the box of all the creative ways that you can use it. So I have a lot of coaching calls that talk about, I want to do a digital product. I want to have some reoccurring revenue. I want to sell something, but be a bit more passive with it and not be as involved. So I was thinking that LTK and some other companies in the US do a lot of work around shop this look, or, you know, here's this room and you can quickly shop it. If I was still building these sorts of digital products, I would be making some very simple moods and mood boards and things that as soon as you've built it in Project Studio, you've got the specifications list, you've got everything sitting there. It's completely dynamic, so you can add some more styling tips and things in there if you want, and then simply list it on Etsy if you wanted to, or if you put it on Mood Board Monday. When I used to share Mood Board Monday or concepts in my business, the client gets 2 concepts and one hits the scrap room floor and it never gets used. And it's usually my favorite, or it's the one that I'm like, no, don't, you know, I wanted to take it further. So I really think if I was using this strategically, I'd be sharing that on a Monday, but saying, hit me up in the DMs if you want to buy this. You know, this could be your house. You can have it. It's kind of pre-made. I'd be careful in my terms and conditions, but you don't owe everyone everything. If you design this really well, it can be a quick turnaround, and it can be a $47 product, or it can be something to someone rather than just sitting on the scrap heap, because it doesn't take very long to automatically pull out the specifications and the shoppable links. I would also use that same functionality to create style guides for discovery calls. So a lot of the time when I speak to my own clients, they cannot articulate the language of interior design. They know what they want and then they explain something completely different. And then I really struggle to understand, especially in the early years, I really struggled. I'd go off and I'd spend a lot of time wasted designing something in the wrong direction. So you can template your Project Studio projects. So you could have a master template for client delivery, but you could also create a style guide or a guide to what type of style. And instead of having the rooms being living room, kitchen, they can be Japandi, Scandinavian, etc. You can toggle your specifications on and off. So you don't have to show them where things are from for you to be able to show them a large menu of different styles of your own design. So your own interpretation of Japandi, not what it says when you Google Japandi. So my interpretation of modern organic is very different if you just pop it into Google. So I love to be able to share that with clients now, that after the discovery call, or if they're struggling, if there's someone who's struggling, you can pull in those Pinterest images because it's connected, and you can build a really nice library of language for our clients.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I love that. I think when we were designing Project Studio, we didn't have any idea that that could be how it's used. We were obviously thinking more the traditional, like create your projects within that. But I love that you kind of have offered this new taste, and the shoppable mood board, styling guides. It's definitely, very flexible with how we've created it. So I guess the world is your oyster in terms of what content you want to create on Project Studio.
Especially those repeatable things like how to style a coffee table, like do it once, build the library and share the link. You know, that's your paying client. It's as simple as access to that dynamic hub or that website. And I think everyone wins. They get so much more value.
And even sort of touching on creating content for social media as well, like that's a big part of your marketing strategy, how you can kind of portray your personal design style. So being able to use, like you were saying, do like a little short video or something on how you've created a project in Project Studio and then sharing that on socials, I think could be a smart way to use it as well to build your brand.
Because you have a URL, you're sort of inviting people into your brand and into your world. It's like a secret, you know, it's a website that you're creating, and everything that you put in there has real estate value. So, you know, for me, I have a podcast, Designing Success. if I were sending something out, a digital product that I built in Project Studio, you better believe there'd be a banner down the bottom. Listen now, here's where you find it. So thinking really strategically about that real estate, everything that you do inside of here is viewed by your clients. So there is opportunity to say, ask me how you add on shelf styling, or ask me about my whatever that is, a styling coming back to. If you have any of those additionals, make sure you're building out, even if you're using Canva to build out a beautiful thing and then just uploading it in, make sure you go away and sketch out what could be in this that every client could benefit, and I can build revenue.
Yeah. So winning more work with Project Studio, obviously the goal of all of our businesses is to win more work, whatever field you're in. So how, from your experience, how can you, or what advice would you give the designers here to effectively win more work on Project Studio?
Yeah, look, I think it's never been more important to humanize our brand as it is now in the world of AI, which I am a big advocate for, but I still believe that, marketing is changing. There's a huge shift happening where people want to see you and hear you and feel you and know that you are a person. And I think being able to show up on your stories and showcase something that you're working on or something that you're doing, it's really showing how professional your brand is and how professional your deliverables are. Like, it shouldn't be a secret. I think it's really great when we can get it out there and sort of say, I'm building the client hub for this new client I'm onboarding, and I'll soon share the website with them, and they will get a voice and they will approve or deny. Just recently I had a knockdown rebuild in Preston, and I did a story on my Instagram, and, just to be a bit silly, I was like, I had a couple of different benchtop stones that I had specified, and then a wild card, the Calcutta Viola. I was hoping they'd go with the wild card, but, just showing up in the stories and hovering over approved, denied, and making a joke to be like, what's going to happen here? Will I get it or won't I? I think it just brings that audience into your systems and processes, because we can be a little bit busy being creative and forget to show the story and the journey on the way there. And I think it shows them a lot of the features, because until they've paid the invoice or until they've signed up or they're onboarding, you then explain to them when you deliver, this is what you do. But this is a massive feature to just explain just in your socials, just any old time. In my business, I build a centralized hub. The client brief is there. I can share my, you can upload 3D renders, you could upload floor plans, you design what it looks like. So you can have just the mood board and the specifications, or you can have a lot of text, a lot of images, a lot of different features and things that we pull together, the sketches, as I say, like AI stuff. Yeah, just everything else can live in the hub so they can find it there. It's not like, it is very, very user friendly. It's, you get in and you didn't make it, you can't break it. You've got to just have a play around with it. But you can basically put as much into each room and each subsection and build and build and build on those bigger projects. I would expect this hub to be a huge digital file with a lot of different things, rather than a quick e-design. I'm not fiddling around too much. Like, you'll only get a little.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
We spoke about templating before, but it's important, and you said, Emily, about logos and branding and cohesiveness and things. I think it's great to remember you can take an hour or two and build your dream template, and then it's just a copy button. So as soon as I get a new client, copy, fill out the details, but you've got the majority of how you want this platform to look. The website between you and the client is already intentionally designed one way, and you gets a lot more plug and play. It's much faster.
Yeah, we definitely encourage, and you'll see when you go onto Project Studio, we have created a demo project just for you to be able to have a bit of inspiration to see how it can be used, because Rhiannon mentioned it is very fluid and flexible, and that's how we wanted to build it. We felt that if we just had a blank canvas, you might go in there and be like, oh, I don't know what to add in or what kind of content to put. So you will be able to see that demo project just to get a bit of an inspiration, but you can make it however you want it. Like Rhiannon mentioned, spending a few hours just setting up your master template and then copying that every single time, so you don't have to continually upload your logo or your, you're like, thank you, Lauren, or your like project brief. Yeah, whatever you kind of include in your project all the time can stay there.
We're all running different businesses too, so you do have different needs, and your documentation does look different, so that you just need to build your own templates.
Yes, definitely. So I know you've got a bit of experience as well. Like you mentioned doing your own projects, but then you've worked with some of your students creating this. What are some of the features on Project Studio that have been game changers in terms of the business operation side of things?
Two come to mind immediately. First and foremost, it has to be the one click, like being able to pull something in and all of the details for the specification list falls underneath in that professional look. I cry for all the hours that I've been in Excel. Like when someone says, yes, signed off, done, I almost hate that because now I have to go to like waste my whole weekend plugging in images and like the SKU and all the information. And I just feel like I've lost such a large percentage of my life doing that the manual way. So for me, if you're talking game changer, that's it, hands down. I would use this every day of the week just to never, ever, ever have to do that manually. And you can, if there's something that isn't in there, you can absolutely upload it. You know the SKU, you get the URL, the link, whatever, you put it in once and it lives in your library. So if you lean on a particular tapware, a particular M+Co armchair that you love, like once you put it in, if it isn't in the library for any reason, it lives in your library. So I think sometimes we think, oh, if I use, if 30% of what I'm using doesn't show up in the mood board tool, is this going to be just as epically kind of laborious? But it isn't, because once you've done it once, if you use that item again, you're shopping out of your own library. So I feel like that's important to acknowledge, because I've started off uploading quite a few things and then I haven't had, really slowed down with what's not in there, because I've built some of my own favorites or some of the things that we all know we kind of gravitate towards. And I think the real-time collaboration is huge for me. Being able to film like a little Loom when I deliver my URL or my client hub and saying, hey, don't be afraid of the tech, go on in, jump in, I'm expecting you to approve here and here's how you do it. The box just drops down. If you make a mistake, you can put it in the notes. Here's how you do things, means that my clients firstly don't use me as tech support. They don't immediately come back and say, but how do I open it or how do I do it? It's really, really user friendly, but I'm obsessed with the fact that it's a living document between myself and them. So as you said, you get those notifications, those emails in the morning, but also if I'm feeling a bit curious at 9 o'clock, if we got that marble across, and I know they're sitting there with the wine and they're having those discussions, I can kind of have a little look at where it's sitting at and be a bit sneaky that way. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And then this question is mainly more not on Project Studio, but just you're known for your ability to create visually pleasing and aesthetic mood boards. And we often, whenever we feature Rhiannon's mood boards, people are like, how do you make it like that? And we're like, well, ask Rhiannon. So now we'll ask her what are some of your tips and tricks on how you go about creating that mood board? And then just to tie it back into Project Studio, how often or how do you weave those mood boards into your project web pages?
The mood boards are always there. So just the way that my creative process, like there's nothing that would go out that's just sort of a list or, quite boring. It's always very lifestyle focused. I'm always trying to evoke what the room feels like. I think that's the most important for all of us. We all enjoy that end goal of how the transformation that we made and what it actually feels like. So I would definitely say some lifestyle pieces are really important to me. You'll often see like a random dog under the chair or a pair of shoes or something that sort of gives the viewer or the audience or the homeowner a chance to feel what that might feel like in there. And I think that can be achieved really easily using some of the Style Sourcebook features too, the perspective, the shadows, the things that sort of makes it feel very 3D. And the other tip I think that I do that I don't know if other people do it, but I certainly find it helpful is when I'm working on multiple rooms in a project, I upload the room, like the bathroom, and I put it into the top left-hand corner of the mood board while I create the kitchen. And it just helps me keep things really cohesive because I'm sort of feeling all the rooms at once. Sometimes I'll even take a screenshot of like the 4 in my camera roll and upload the 4 across the top while I'm designing everything else. And then obviously I'm removing that before I'm presenting it to the client. I will absolutely admit to the fact that I have not done that a few times and the bathroom's been stuck in a hallway or they've wondered why I've randomly got their rooms in the corner. But with your Project Studio, there is a preview button. So before you send anything to your client, if you tap on the preview button, you see it from the client's eyes. So this is how, I don't know what magical science this is, but when I click preview, I'm looking at it now from a totally different person. I'm no longer the designer who created it, but I'm like receiving it as the client. And suddenly I notice I've left the bedroom in the bathroom, mood board, or like I haven't tidied this, or I've got the specification schedule toggled on and we're only at concept. Because what have we done if we've done that? you've delivered your deliverables. You've told them where all of the things are from and you haven't had your final invoice paid. So you do, like, I think that preview button is really important to just making sure that you've got that final catch-all and I've just had a really good look at it and I'm comfortable. But I don't know if everyone does that, but I do find having the other room inside of my mood board as I work just helps me.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I think that's a big, I'd never thought of doing that either, but that's such a good tip just to make sure that it's cohesive, because I feel like you can be inspired one day and you're creating a presentation and then the next day you're like, oh no, I want a bit more of a moodier vibe, but then you forget that you've gone actually with a coastal vibe. So
And they're in the same house.
yeah, same house. Yeah, that's really great. Thank you. I feel like that's, yeah, you've covered a lot of content about the Project Studio things, but as I mentioned, Rhiannon will be here at the end of the session if you have any more questions on even the framework that Rhiannon offers as well. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom. We might now pass it on to Taylor. So Taylor's our, as I mentioned before, our marketing and community coordinator. Do you want to just introduce yourself and your role at Star Sourcebook and sort of what a day looks like for you?
So yes, I'm Taylor and I'm the marketing and community coordinator at Style Sourcebook, and I started as an intern about like 4 years ago. And I look after our socials and our website content, EDMs at the moment, marketing campaigns, a bit of everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, so a bit of a background about marketing your brand at Style Sourcebook. I feel like we could talk for hours about this because there's so many ways, but I guess the way it all begins is with your profile. So the first thing is to make sure that you're completely filling out your profile. So that includes logo, cover image, bio, social links, all of that jazz. And I'll touch on it later, but it's kind of the basis for all the ways that you can market your business on Style Sourcebook. And then once you start creating the mood boards, for those of you who haven't used it before, that's kind of where the fun begins. So once you're comfortable with sharing them on Instagram, like once they're at a stage that you're nearly finished or you're happy for them to be shared externally, you can share them on Instagram. And yeah, always a good practice is to tag us so we can see it. Otherwise they get lost in the feed and we never see it. So that's always a good practice. And another good practice is to tag these suppliers. So once you start tagging the suppliers and the suppliers start realizing, if you're constantly specifying their products, that kind of forms, yeah, as you would already know, great industry connections. And they also love seeing your mood boards come to reality. So taking along them in the process of from mood board to reality, they always, greatly appreciate that. And another way to showcase your mood boarding is kind of taking people along the journey. So creating reels or stories that include you creating the mood board from scratch is always quite entertaining. And another option that you can do with Style Sourcebook is sharing your mood boards on Pinterest. So we have a Pinterest button on the website. You click the button and it goes straight to your Pinterest profile. So that's another good option. You can also display the mood boards on your website. And then some designers also add a link to their Style Sourcebook profile in their social media bios, which again, like I mentioned before, is another good reason why the profile should be filled out. So it's not looking empty on there. And then, yeah, as Rhiannon mentioned as well, community is a big part of Style Sourcebook. So engaging with the Style Sourcebook community, whether that be when we post mood boards on Instagram, commenting on there, or finding other designers that use Style Sourcebook and engaging with them as well, or on our Facebook group. That's a big part of who we are. So, and everyone's really lovely as well. So.
We often, I mentioned in the intro that we do feature designers as much as we can. We're really passionate about getting designers' names out there. We have a lot of emerging designers that are just sort of starting off. So, I just wanted to ask Tay, because Tay really owns this sort of aspect of Style Sourcebook. So what are some ways that designers can be featured? Like, what do you look for when featuring the designer's work?
Yeah, so there's quite a few ways that we feature designers on Style Sourcebook. I've kind of listing them out here, but the first one is via our Style Edit. So Style Edit is our editorial page. So that is where we feature home tours, or if you've completed a project that started as a mood board, we often feature them on there. And another huge part, like I just mentioned before, is the completed projects. So we absolutely love seeing a project go from mood board to reality. So we have a whole section on our website purely to showcase these. And we also pick out our favorite project every month as our featured project. Every week, we also feature 4 different mood boards. So that's another way that your mood board could be featured as well. On Instagram, we regularly post roundups of mood boards on there created by our designers. So like Rhiannon mentioned too, we see all these mood boards via our tagged mood boards on Instagram, and sometimes via the mood board inspiration page as well. But Instagram is a big one if you tag us on there. Newsletters, we love featuring community content on there, whether that be your projects or your mood boards. And then also brand collaborations. So part of the reason of tagging the suppliers in your mood boards when you post them to Instagram is to kind of facilitate the conversation and the connection with the suppliers that you're using. So that can kind of come to fruition when we often produce content and need designers to produce them with. We have brand suppliers on the website, and sometimes it brings it to life a little bit more if a designer is producing that content rather than us, and then vice versa. So if the supplier is noticing that you're specifying their products quite a lot, they might reach out to you as well.
Yeah, really good to build that. I think we've worked with Rhiannon with like Choices Flooring, James Hardy. So it is a really great opportunity for you to kind of get in front of the brands as well and partner with them. So yeah, we really
They're not always opportunities that you would have pitched for yourself.
Yeah.
They're definitely like commercial agreements that are happening at Style Sourcebook that they can then reach out and say, hey, would you be interested? Or you were noticed, or you've been tagging. So
yeah, but going back to that piece of we don't know who to reach out to unless we know you. So we really encourage you guys to get to know us a bit more, so then we can kind of put your name forward as well. We might just quickly touch on this just because of time, but we really didn't know, those of you who know Style Sourcebook and our homepage, every week we choose 4 mood boards that are kind of tied into our homepage gallery. We didn't know this, but yeah, designers really do love being featured on this page in this spot here. Can you just give a quick tip of like what you look for when choosing those 4 mood boards to feature?
Yeah, so this is an exciting part of our week where we get to decide on the mood boards. So as Em mentioned, it ties in with our weekly theme, and that is different every week, whether it be like a style or a color palette. It's whatever we're feeling that week. So the mood boards that tie in with that always have to be very visually appealing and cohesive. And we also often go for mood boards that are more image driven rather than one that has heaps of text on it. And again, the profile needs to be filled out, and bonus points if the mood board is a real project. Once it's at that stage where you're comfortable with sharing it, and that we can tell it's a real project if you label it that, like that's like Malvern East project or something like that.
You guys gave me that tip years ago. And I was like, when am I going to get featured? You're like, well, everything says draft, test, or like, can you please name it whatever it's called?
We market our business as well. So funny. So that's great tips on how if you do want to be featured, that's just some of the things that we look out for. And then the mood board to real life. So what do we look for when we're featuring these projects on the homepage?
So again, we love seeing your mood board to real life projects, and our favorite ones get featured on the homepage as our featured project. So these ones, often it's great if they include a few of our brand suppliers like M+Co Living or whoever it may be. And again, for it to be visually appealing and that kind of thing. So we have a whole page on the website that is just for completed projects, and to be featured on here, you can either use our project submission form on this page, and you can upload the images and let us know which suppliers were used. Another option is to tag us on Instagram, or you can always email us or DM us. Yeah, any way you can contact us, we'll listen. And yes, that our favorite one is featured every month as well.
Yes, yeah. And then we also, obviously Style Edit is a big arm of our website. That's all of our editorial content. So we really hold like a special place when we feature projects on Style Edit. We are a bit picky when we come to featuring mood board projects on this, just because we have a lot of people reading our Style Edits. A lot of our brand partners as well have editorials that go there as well. So designers often ask us how they can get their project featured on Style Edit. It's sort of the similar points that we look out for as well. So just to make sure that your profile is completely filled in. Bonus points is, again, if you use our retailers, because we do really like to kind of show off our retailer products. And then just having a high quality image of the project images. We really do encourage designers to invest. I know it's a big cost, but just to have that really high quality imagery is really what we're looking for with the editorial section as well. So yeah, we'd love to, if you guys have projects that you'd like to be featured, we definitely welcome you to submit them as well. So I think that's all we have time for. I'm just kind of conscious of the time. We could speak all day about marketing your business, but as I've mentioned, and we've kind of kept saying this in the presentation, we do really want to connect with our designers. So if you don't already, follow us on Style Sourcebook. Obviously check out our website, create an account if you don't already have one. And then we've put Rhiannon's handles as well there if you wanted to get in contact with her and ask any questions that she might have or explore what she offers as well. And then another big thing, and again, just a shout out to M+Co, to discover their profile on Style Sourcebook. So if you haven't already, go into the M+Co Living Style Sourcebook profile. They create beautiful mood boards. We're a little bit biased, but we do really love the mood boards that your team creates. So if you're wanting to if you're looking in the showroom and you're seeing some pieces that you like, they've curated a whole bunch of mood boards to showcase what their products can do and how they can be paired together. So yeah, we definitely encourage you to go to the M+Co Living Style Sourcebook profile as well. But yeah, that's all we have time for. We did want to say thank you to you all for coming, and yeah, we know it's a bit of a hot day, so yeah, thank you for sweltering the heat, and thank you for M+Co for hosting us as well.
Thank you so much, ladies. We will have some time for questions. So I've got the talking stick, so pop your hand up, and whoever has a question, feel free to ask. Great.
Thanks, ladies, for the presentation. It was fabulous, and your perspective as well, Rhiannon, being a user and you know, being in our shoes. I have a question for you, and you mentioned something about fully customizable concept for your proposals. So does that mean when you're presenting your fee proposal to your clients, or is it
more of my concept proposals? So being able to have the mood board, being able to have, you can toggle the specifications off at that period, but I would have an area for client brief and what are we trying to achieve and what were the considerations, because you can add text, you can have previously prepared like presentation slides and those sorts of things. So pulling it together in the way that I want to deliver a concept. I didn't mention before, but you can toggle off different parts of the specification thing too. So when you do get to a part where you're sharing that, you can have trade pricing and not trade pricing, and think you can really check your preview always, of course, but you can really play around with what's client facing and what is commercially sensitive to your business. So it's all living in the one hub, but there are ways that you can only show through the link what you want to show.
Yeah. Okay.
Which ring you on?
Go down the line.
No, and also thank you very much. It was really so enjoyable to hear everything you Rhiannon as well. But currently, client we had a meeting with her this morning, and after this, and going back to continue on our meet. Her builders. I'm in the middle of drawing technical drawings for the joiner, for the stonemason, and for the builder. The builder has told my client last week, too much details, and he just wants, but if you don't, then they'll say, where are the details, So anyway, so we're parring back at today what her builder, the information her builder wants, and I understand that, but to what level he wants as well. So for example, doing some detail because of the marble, and certain aspects of the joinery, would I be able to say do a builder's version, toggle between the builders and the joiner and the stonemason?
I wouldn't say that you would necessarily
That's-
toggle between, but you can
No.
copy. So when you do the master
Yeah.
one, you can copy and
then
remove, or you
remove.
can build it up. So I'd actually build it up
Yeah,
because it's
that's what
easier
I'm
for you. So
thinking.
do the basic builder version,
Yeah.
and then copy, and then add for add for the next level, and then add all the way to when I have the master copy, which is actually all of the details that are
Correct.
actually incredibly important
Mm.
for the project, and it's all in one place.
Yeah.
But then the builder just gets what he wants, and you
That-
get what you want.
Yeah, happy days. Another thing also, bathrooms.
Yeah.
I know M+Co, from my experience with M+Co, a lot of living and etc. areas, but also if we had, because this is a whole home, I'm doing at the moment with the clients, and so there's bathrooms, butlers, so I can cater to all that as well, and for presentation as well.
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
bathrooms.
it's very customizable. So you can kind of set it up however
All
you want to
rooms.
set it up. Yeah, all rooms.
Correct.
And look,
Right.
some of the mood boards are not that pretty if they're just all of the actual things I need to
No.
say in the FF&E. But that's okay because I can put them on a full, like a lighting, a plumbing, a blah, blah, blah. And then I can just label it plumbing and I can upload
Correct.
the mood board, get the specification schedule. I'm not going to submit that to Taylor. That's not
No.
my favorite mood board, but that is part of what I do.
What
So
you can actually do.
yeah, it's just about making sure that the project studio works for you and it looks good and it delivers the outcome that your
correct.
clients need.
No, look, I love the interactive nature of the client signing off at the moment, because I currently do mine in the client presentation in PowerPoint. I've used Canva, but I'm not au fait completely with Canva. I love it, but not that good at it because I'm too busy working and don't have so much time to sink into it, unfortunately. But yeah, just that interactive nature.
Yeah.
And they
It
can
is
go in and check your
fantastic.
details too. So
Which
instead of
brilliant.
asking you a question, they have constant access. So there might have been a note, there might have been something in there.
It's very
And I am actually finding it's reducing the amount of times they're double checking something, because
Wow.
it's like, don't double check with me,
Just go.
go in, like you know what to
We're
do.
at this very, very point, right? It's very nebulous at the moment and really highly active right now. So that's why I was doing this.
Yes.
Yes.
And a few other things, but anyway.
Anyone else with a question? Thought? Yeah.
Hi. You mentioned we can obviously share any kind of, or any file. We put it all in the hub. Can we upload drawing files and then link that, and then just give
Yeah, so you can
like between architects and myself?
you can upload it as an image. So you probably just need it because the drawing files are often quite large. That would really slow down the whole side of things. We just encourage you to take a screenshot and then upload that as an image in your client webpage.
So they can't open it as a drawing file.
They can't. No, not at this stage. Just with the how big those files would be, it would it'd be quite a lot to house on the. It's sort of a bit more like that presentation, I guess. Not really that. Yeah, to be able to access the actual drawing file.
Yeah, because I'm using Dropbox as
Yes.
that
Yeah.
hub and
We
as a
have-
project, but this, I mean, yeah, just
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. Yeah, we have like a whole backlog of features that we'd love to build as well. So we'd love to be able to have that on maybe like the designer side of things, but it wouldn't really sit within your presentation. So
And you can upload files, they just can't be those really
The big,
big drawing files. Like, so you can, if you've got something else, or you want to build on, or you want to put in a warranty or something, like you can do things that they could open. So you can really get creative with how you build it. But those ones are always a hard one because they need just so much.
space.
Yeah.
so maybe everything else.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
yeah, because that's okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, we don't have a hand. Perfect. Okay. Wow. Another round of applause for Style Sourcebook girls and Rhiannon. Super insightful. And thank you all for being so patient and for being such a great audience.
This first product that we're going to show you as part of our virtual showroom tour is a product that we're very, very excited to launch. This is one of the first to market products out there that is called the Ember Arc. Now, the Ember Arc is a piece of furniture that with the flick of a switch then turns into a beautiful looking open fireplace for you. This is a product that comes in a number of different sizes as well as materials. This is a great product for those living in apartment complexes. This is great for people who are renting, for example. It's great for the spare room where you don't want to go to the expense of actually installing an open fireplace. The response from both the stockists and the general public has been sensational to this product. Please join us at the HIA Home Show in April, where you'll be able to see these in person. Alternatively, make sure that you come and join us here in the showroom and we'll show you and walk you through the M+Co range by M+Co. So for all of our property stylists and interior designers, we've got an extensive art collection here brought to you by Lagrola. We've got abstracts, we have posters and also pictures here located in the showroom. So you can come in last minute or with an appointment and choose from our extensive collection brought to you by Lagrola and M+Co. One of the brands we're proud to partner with here at M+Co is Gus Modern. They are a Canadian brand where materials and craftsmanship are at the core of their ethos. When it comes to craftsmanship, all of the furniture that you see as part of the Gus Modern range is commercially rated. So when it comes to our interior designers and property stylists out there who are speccing for jobs, particularly where it is for a family home, you can always know and trust that all of the furniture will stand up to the test of time. When it comes to materials, it's innovative materials like a humble apple and the apple skin then is upcycled to then turn into what we call vegan apple skin leather. Exceptionally durable and great for the planet as well. It also extends to what we use for the inner core fillings in the scatter cushions, where we take PET bottles, we break that bottle down into fibres. The end result is that you end up with a soft and durable inner core, as well as being hypoallergenic. So great for kids and people out there with allergies. All of the timber that Gus Modern uses is FSC certified. So for you, what does that mean? Put simply, that all of the timber is high quality and it is sustainably and ethically harvested. Gus uses low VOC finishes. What that means for you at home is that it reduces the amount of toxic emissions, both throughout the manufacturing process, but also most importantly, in your client's home. That concludes today's Lunch and Learn here at M+Co. We'd like to thank you for joining us. Thank you to our guest panellists in Emily, Taylor and Rhiannon. Please make sure that you join us for our next Lunch and Learn, which is coming up on April 9. We'll be joined by interior designer and house rules guest judge, Carolyn Burns-McGray. Until then, please look out for our Lunch and Learn series. Also, make sure that you go to your members area and look at our exclusive offer as a thank you for joining us today. It is a special offer. It will be part of the rewards page in your member portal. Now to the members area of the website. Go to the right hand side of the top of the website, type in your email address, click on sign in. You'll see the dashboard with your recent quotes and orders, as well as a rewards section where we have rewards waiting for you as part of a thank you for coming today. Just check your email address if you cannot see your login details for the members area. From all of us here at M+Co, thank you for joining us and we look forward to seeing you next time.